Welcome to First and Goal, where everything is made up and the points don't matter. Get ready for the latest and hottest topics in the SML. Let's get started. Here's your host, Mad Bomber.
All right, SML, welcome to this week's episode of First and Goal. This week, we've got Primetime 000. We've got Faz, fresh off his win. Never mind, his loss. We've
You're
got
the worst.
Figg, and we've got Field General. What's going on, guys?
Too much.
All right,
Nothing good.
Let's jump right into this. And our first question, Matt keeps saying he's bad. Does anybody believe it? And Field, we'll start with you.
After one season, it's kind of hard to tell, but from season one, yeah, he was bad. He was 8-9. He had a 1,600-yard rushing performance with Najee Harris. He threw 32 touchdowns, but he also threw 33 interceptions. So if you like to play like Stevie Wonder and throw a shit ton of interceptions, then that's the game plan for you. But if you want to win ball games, that's not going to get it done. You want to talk crap about the Titans, but you did absolutely no better. You actually played worse, buddy. So, yeah, you are pretty bad. I'm buying into your self-deprecation. Only 1,000 yards out of Chase Claypool, 700 yards out of Juju Smith-Schuster. None of this equates to division win. I don't know if people know about this guy named Bomber out there in the AFC North. None of that's good enough to beat these guys, the AFC North. And, yeah, he's bad. And I anticipate that will continue. He will be average to slightly below average like this season, just like his penis, and will continue on.
All right. Well,
no
some
one's
people
gonna
would
top
settle for
that one.
average, so that's not so bad. Figg, speaking of average penis, what do you think?
Wow. I feel like he had kind of a bad season. He's got kind of the capability to be good. He made the Super Bowl I think it was the last season of the last cycle. So, I mean, he's got the ability to be good this season. It's not really working out for him. He started off pretty good. I think he was like 6-4. And then he started posting about the Mondello. I think if he switches back to Coors Light, he's going to start winning some more games next season.
All right. Faz, what do you think?
Always comes back to beer with figs, man. Man, I'm starting to think I'm in the minority here. I didn't think Matt was bad. I think it comes down to expectations. If your expectation for Matt is to contend for a Super Bowl, consistent playoff runs, consistent playoff wins, then no, you're probably going to be pretty disappointed. Unless it's, a Madden like last year where you can, hit the old press X and hold up offense. We know he's not really much of a passer. Field brought up the interceptions. He knows he's not much of a passer. He's running out there with Drew Haskins and totally okay with it. So, in that sense, he's not good. Yeah. But I don't think he's a bad Madden player. Like, I don't think you can load up into a game against Matt and be like, this guy sucks. Like, I can just take it easily. He can play defense. He runs the ball. His user's pretty good. So he's like aggressively in the middle.
Okay. What do you think, Prime?
Yeah, I think he's bad. Or at least he doesn't meet the expectations that he set last year, which was obviously aided by last Madden, the running Madden that Faz spoke of. He's bad team building. He's sticking with the quarterback. He refuses to trade. I offered him a trade for a backup linebacker. He refused to even negotiate, and then the guy recorded 2 tackles on the season. Now he's going to hit free agency. It's just stuff like that. That's bad team management. And now he's going to stick with a 65 overall quarterback. Even if he signs somebody in free agency, he doesn't have to draft someone high. Bad team management. And yeah, without being a super running game Madden, we've seen some kryptonite. So yeah, I'm just going to call him Motorola. He's a thing of the past.
All right. So topic 2, why do people tend to play poorly in breakout games? Fig, what do you think kind of contributes to that?
I feel like it kind of gets you away from your game plan sometimes. Like, if you got a wide receiver that has a breakout game, you might be going him a little too often. If you're really good, you might go to him 16 times. You might end up winning the game in some cases. But if you do that a little too much, then, you might get it removed. But for me, I think I have one game where I had a breakout game this year. Kind of stayed within my game plan. It was a running back, so I try to keep a balanced game for the most part. So for someone like me, I don't think I really change it up too much. I try to stay balanced. But yeah, I think it all depends on the person.
Okay. Faz, what do you think?
Yeah, he pretty much stole my point there. It really just takes you out of what it is that got you the breakout in the first place. It takes you away from your game. It forces you into one guy. Most people, when they go for a breakout game, they make it so painfully obvious that they have a breakout game that it becomes so easy to play defense on them. The old dump method, 18 pass attempts, 17 to Christian Kirk. It gets a little easy to figure out what somebody's going to do when that's the offensive game plan. I think a lot of it comes down to just EA's requirements for breakouts are, pretty difficult. We don't play long games, and they're asking for, 150 yards or 3 scores for a superstar game. If you're only going to get 7 possessions in the game, 6 possessions, you basically have to score on half of them with one player. So it's not super easy. It forces you into a one-dimensional game. And from there, it's just pretty easy for your opponent to nail down.
All right, Prime?
Yeah, it definitely. I think that Faz and everybody else is probably just going to be on the same page. You definitely leave your game plan, and depending on the player, it's almost worth risking a loss for getting that said breakout. If it's a running back or who is going to be touching the ball a bajillion times a game, you're willing to do things to get that breakout. And as a league, when you see that kind of thing, it's like, okay, the game's promoting spam, so you have to have a little bit of grace for it. But yeah, and to dump into Figg's point, like, okay, if you throw 18 passes, like 17 can't be to that guy. Like, that's too much. But yeah, I mean, when one guy needs all those yards, you're just throw your game plan out the window and try to get that guy boosted up because he could help you win a championship.
All right, and Field.
I'm gonna have to bring back some Raider fan, and we would both agree on this. It's just the coding of the game. Madden is intentionally screwing you out. You're going out there trying to throw a bunch of yards and get some first downs with your running back, your receiver. And sometimes Madden doesn't want you to get that goal. Like, they throw it completely random. Like, your guy got a tug job tuggy, and now he's got a breakout game. Like, you're not prepared for that mentally. Like, you're going into that week against Figg. Like, you're going to stomp that ass, and then they throw this breakout game. And now it's like, oh, shit. Now I've got to go way out of my way to score these stats that I don't care about, but now I have to because they're throwing a star or an X factor at me. No way I'm going to miss that. It's the Madden, just the coding. I don't know why they do this to us, why they come after elite players like myself, but they do, and we fail.
Yep, gotta agree. All right, so we've just seen the NFC, at least one of the NFC playoff games finally took place. With the NFC North, and really maybe the NFC as a whole, but we'll get to that next. Did the NFC North kind of miss their chance to beat QP and the Lions? And do you think that he's just going to sweep that division the rest of the way? Faz?
Yeah, I think they did miss their chance. We knew coming in that Q is an elite player. He's had a lot of success in the past. Waiting to see him take that next step. And we knew early it would be kind of tough with the Lions. You're coming out with like a 60 overall team. They got nothing. But in season 1, he goes out and gets a quarterback. He looks fantastic with him. He's, currently in the playoffs. He's smoking just about everybody. And to be honest, I don't see anybody in the North really competing much with him. The team's only going to get better from here. So you're never going to have the team advantage quite like that again. And, the competition in the division just, frankly, probably isn't high enough. We saw Montazunu, whatever his name is, come in and take over the Packers, who, I think had some success in Primer. They played one game, and it looked like he might, compete with Q for a little bit. But then, Q kind of came out and stomped him a little bit. Montazunu came back a little bit in the fourth, and then just absolutely dreadful drive after dreadful drive trying to come back. So it doesn't really look like there's going to be much competition there for him. I think Q is going to sweep it.
All right. Prime, what do you think?
Yeah, I don't think he's going to sweep the division. I think he's definitely going to win the, cycle series. I think that D. Muse, who probably will never live up to what he had last cycle, will probably steal one, and Montazou, or whatever his name is, he seemed like a solid player. Yeah, I mean their window of winning that division repetitively is now a lot smaller than what I think people thought it was. I think some people thought maybe QP might miss the playoffs, but the NFC kind of weak. NFC North, nobody's super strong, and even future. I think we're going to see that tonight. I think it's going to be put out there for a lot of people to see that it's not even going to be close. I think future is going to lose by maybe 3 scores, and QP is going to make his mark on the SML.
All right, Field, how about you?
If you had to pick anybody that could actually beat QP, I think it's going to be Future. He's got one of the best teams on paper in the NFC North for this Madden. You got Khalil Mack, 96 overall, Roquan Smith, 89 overall. You got Fields, who's going to develop into a great quarterback. He's mobile. He's got weapons out there. So if anyone could do it, I think it's going to be the Bears. I kind of agree with Prime about Demuse. I think his biggest problem is going to be defense. He played a lot of cover 3, a lot of just the typical last couple Madden defense, and that's not what wins you a lot of games, is playing a lot of cover 3. You're going to get exposed on those zones, and that's what he kind of lives and dies by. And I don't think he's quite figured out the passing game. Only averaging 186 yards through the air is not going to get it done. Yeah, you got a great rushing attack, but this Madden is not the hashtag why pass. This is like, you need a effing pass if you want to win in this Madden. And until you get over your 3 yards of cloud of dust offense, good luck. And one thing I will say about QP, thanks to Dirty Dan for breaking it off my ass and giving him Herbert after I had arranged a trade. I think he's got the best chance. Right now, this roster is not very good, so if you think the Bears or possibly the Vikings have a chance at winning, it's going to take a while to develop some of this roster. Not a whole lot of great pieces. He's got some good players, a lot of star development guys, but your highest overall right now is 88, and Herbert's probably another season or 2 away from being that great to elite quarterback. So the window is still open for the Bears to seize it. I think that, like I said, Future, he's got kind of the pedigree. He's 11-6. He's trying to figure things out. His defense, kind of the reason why he's losing a lot of these games. But he averaged 30 points on offense, and he threw for over 246 yards a game. So I still like Future to be able to win one of these.
Okay. Fig, you're the only NFC representative here, and you played QP a couple times last year. What do you think?
I think QP's definitely the best among them, consistent-wise, but Demuse, I think he has ability. I think he's going to win at least 2 divisions. He's already beat him once this year. He was pretty much like 2 plays away from being in that playoff game. So, I mean, he's got a bad quarterback right now, but I feel like if he figures out the quarterback situation. Plus, Future's not bad either. He had 11 wins. His main problem is a running back. I think if Future upgrades a running back and Demuse gets a better quarterback, then I think they can easily. I think they both win at least one division each. That's what I'm thinking.
Okay, so for our last topic, then we'll stay in the NFC, and with Dump in the NFC West, you've got yourself there, Fig, Knowles there, and Colts there. Does Dump lose a single NFC West title? And Prime will start with you.
No, he's gonna sweep. It's not even. I don't think it's close. Dump, that Cardinals team is a good team. Dump is a good player, and Lord have mercy, you got guys like Fig in there. It's just gonna be a smackdown. I'm just kidding. The problem with Dump is he feasts off of getting it on streaks. Like, if he's on a bad streak, he's going to play bad. But with that division, with guys who haven't had a big success in the SML, he's going to thrive off of that. He already competed in the NFC. Was it the NFC West last year too?
Yep.
With RD in them, and that was a tough freaking division. So now you got the same division. Probably he's going to be a team that's just as good as that Niners team he had with players who aren't as good as RD or Meats even. I think Dump's going to sweep it.
All right. Field, what do you think?
I don't want to say he's going to sweep it. I don't want to agree with Prime for one. That's never a fun thing to do. He's got a really good team for Madden, though, and his offense, I played him early on in the season, and I couldn't stop him. His passing game was unbelievable. First for total yards, 396, third points per game, 34, and also he quietly had the 5th best rushing attack with 120 yards a game. If anyone has a chance, though, I think it would have to be Noel. I know it could just be a one-season wonder, but he was 10-7, a pretty solid Seahawks team. You've got Russell Wilson. You've got pieces there. He had a really solid rushing attack. He could improve his passing game. His defense is kind of crap. I mean, Figg's here. I want to say that he's got a chance. He's got a great team, but he's just not a great player. And, you'll have that. So I think you have to look at, I really don't want to say it, but I mean, I think that I got to agree with Prime, and it looks like if the Seahawks don't steal one, that the Cardinals are going to run away with it, and that really pains me to say it. Sorry, Figg.
All right, Figg, what about you? This is your division. What do you think? Is Dump going to run away with
Guarantee one, Figg. Let's go, baby. Now's the time.
That's what we
I
want,
wish
Figg.
I could say I sail a division. I feel like my sailing is about maybe 11 wins, right about there. I feel like Noel
For a cycle?
11. I already got 11 wins in one season. Come on, I could get 11 wins in one season. I feel like Noel is right about there, maybe 12 wins, and I think Dump, like at the lowest point, he's going to win at least 12. So I just don't see it. He's got a good team. He's a good player. I think there's a better chance that someone from the NFC North beats him in a playoff game where it's one game. But for a whole season, I wish I'm going to keep fighting, but I might sail a couple wins against him, but to actually win the division, I mean, I wish, but I don't see it.
All right, well, a bonus point for the confidence. Faz, what do you think?
Yeah, impressive confidence there for sure. That's good stuff. No, he's not going to lose a single title in the West there. It's really just the teams there. His team is already the best one. This is not like Q where, there's that window early before the team develops. If anything, Seattle's only going to start getting worse. Figgs is a bad Tuesday away from trading all of his players. Not even God knows what that team's going to look like after an offseason.
I'll beat you next week.
The Rams have no picks. They're old. So the teams are going to get worse. His is, really only going to get better. They're very young, very fast. He's the best player in the division. Obviously, the big thing with him has always been, kind of dropping the ball in big games. But honestly, even when he comes up against the AFC, his division's not going to gain any ground because they're going to lose those games against the AFC too. So there's really only one game on the schedule with that first place schedule that might actually hurt him, and that's just not going to be enough, even if Figgs can pull off 11 wins in a season.
I did it before.
Yeah, I just want to add in that division's got some bad team builders, like you said with Figg, and also Colt 45 last year, and Noel kicks field goals on third down. We've seen that, so that's reason alone.
No, not the field goal.
Old Humpty Dumpty, So I don't know.
All right, so that's gonna do it for this week's show. Unless anybody wants to say anything else bad about Matt, if not, then I don't think
the
it's
home wrecker.
I mean, I
choices
gave Dog
in there.
Keller enough in this one.
All right, well, I don't think it's any surprise who tonight's winner is. It's quite obviously Prime, not the winner with 67. Figg is the winner with 69 points. Figg, these 30 seconds are all yours. Try and be a little faster than Molasses Mike, though.
Oh, man.
Hey.
I ran on my molasses for tonight. Next time I face a Fazzaroni, I'm going to beat him. You heard it here. I beat him before. I'll beat him again. Beat everyone here. Let's go.
All right. Well, that's been this week's episode of First and Goal. We'll see if we have another one next week. I don't know if we can top this one, but thanks for watching, guys.
Figgs will die.
Thanks for listening to First and Goal. Be sure to check out Mad Bomber TV on Twitch and YouTube for the latest from the SML. And we'll see you next time on First and Goal.